Okay, hey guys, how's everybody doing? Uh, Welcome back to another theme Q&A. Pretty much as always, the month has come, and you know, this week's theme is all about the world's finest, Superman and Batman. Thought I was like, I was looking at my collection of my theme Q&As, and I was seeing like not a lot of DC themed discussions. So I was like, okay, let me do this for June, and I thought I'd go with Superman and Batman. Personally, to me, guys, I've always liked the team up and the partnership or the relationship between Superman and Batman. I totally disagree with Frank Miller on his beliefs that Superman and Batman can't be friends. I totally disagree with that. Though they have their differences, but there are some similarities. I do consider them brothers that each one never had, best friends. I do like the chemistry that most writers uh, portray between both of the characters. Uh, so I always totally disagree with that. And then when you throw in Wonder Woman to the fold, it even better when you have the Trinity. Uh, I do agree that I'm one of those people that believe that Superman is still a great character. I don't believe that he is outdated. His beliefs are outdated and things like that. No, I still believe that Superman, Clark Kent, Kal-El, the last son of Krypton, is still irrelevant to this day. Relevant to this day. I don't think that he's irrelevant. It's like saying same thing as like Captain America is outdated. His beliefs are outdated. You know, Steve Rogers out. His beliefs are outdated. Why? You know, sure. Now I will also agree that yeah, maybe Batman has taken over DC as being the face of DC, and that's not entirely Batman's fault. I do think DC does ride Batman's you know him way too much. I think they just showcase him way too much and not showcase the other heroes. As my friend Blue Album say, they just ride his nutsack like it's crazy. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I do think that Superman and Batman have a good relationship. I think they are a good tandem, and I have no problem with them being a friendship. Like I said, I'm no disrespect entirely to Frank Miller's beliefs, but I cannot sit there and believe that. Like, he says he takes a lot of credit for breaking up the friendship between them, and I look at that like, why? You know, why would you break it up? It was cool. It's still cool to this day. So I'm here to answer your questions that you have bestowed upon me through the announcement vid. Got a good amount of questions, and for all those who are watching this via Google Plus, or whether it's you're watching it on Twitter, feel free to send me your questions via there, wherever you're watching this. But I'm going to answer the questions that came to me on that the announcement vid had, and then if there's some questions afterwards, I'll get into it. So let's start off from the most recent to the the less recent. So let's see. All right, we have my friend Jacob Harper. Hey Jacob, how you doing? You got two questions for me. Thoughts on Ben Affleck rumored to direct a new Batman movie? I've heard about this rumor. Um, I'm not entirely against it. You know, hopefully it's not entirely. I'm hoping that it's more of not so grounded Batman, and where we get to see more of Batman. You know, the Batman from the comics instead, where he's dealing with superpowered foes and things like that. Like for me personally, I would love to see him deal with a superpowered villain for this if he does do it, like a new, like for example, I'd like to see him deal with uh, Clayface or somebody like that. Someone one of his superpowered foes instead of just the Joker or somebody like that. Uh, I wouldn't mind. Look, I gotta admit, seeing him in the costume when he came out of the rubble, and I was like, whoa, okay, he looks pretty damn badass like that. I mean, I love the costume as well. It's more of the Jim Lee look, which I've always loved the Jim Lee look of Batman. For Batman, like it's not the longer ears, it's the shorter ears. He looks more built, and of course a little bit of Frank Miller's Dark Knight in there. But I'm looking. I, I wouldn't mind if he did do it, if he started it and directed it as well. I'm not the biggest Ben Affleck fan, but I do respect his directorial stuff. I've seen some of the works he's directed, and they were pretty good. So, okay. So, and we're starting to get questions from Twitter. I knew it. Okay. Um, I'll get on with those later, but let's move on to the next. Jacob, you asked me is thoughts on Superman, Batman, the Superman and Batman version of Justice League Gods and Monsters. Uh, I did watch the Chronicles. The shorts. Kurt Langstrom's Batman. Him being a vampire and stuff. It's not new. I've seen that kind of stuff done before. He tried to cure his cancer and he became a vampire. And it does have a little bit of a remnants of Michael Morbius, the living vampire. So I can see that. But it wasn't that bad. I believe who did the voice? Who did the voice? I think it was Dexter that did the voice. I think it was him. So it wasn't bad. And the Superman version of the Gods and Monsters version was pretty decent as well, where we could see, as my friend Jeremy says, Latino Superman, because he was raised by Mexican immigrants instead, and he's the son of Zod. A lot different, but that one was probably my favorite out of the shorts because that was, man, what he did to that kid Brainiac. I was just like, Jesus. But I enjoyed them, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the work because it is supposed to be a series based on that world. So I'm looking forward to after the movie, there's going to be a series based on it too. So I enjoyed it. But thank you, Jacob, for the two questions. You could have asked four, but it's cool. Uh, Miko Jamil, your first question is: have there ever been incarnations of Superman than Batman? Wait, have there been more incarnations of Superman and than Batman, or vice versa? Uh, I think there's an equal amount. I could be wrong. Uh, I could be wrong. I think there's an equal. I think there's more Batman incarnations than Superman. I think I could be wrong. Correct me on that, guys, if I'm wrong. Uh, but most of them are pretty decent. Some are not. Some are different. Some are unique. But yeah. Uh, okay. Now we're talking. Okay, you're talking about my site, DC Elite, which actually launches next week. Actually, the July 4th launches, and I did put up the launch titles so far. Uh, but you asked me, is there a DC Elite title involving Superman, Batman and Superman? Who's writing it? And if Batman and Superman were combined into one hero, uh, what would he look like, and what would his name be? Um, as for the site, oh, shoot. As for a DC Elite Superman Batman title, there is no Superman Batman Elite title. There is a Batman title, there's a Superman title, there is a Trinity title, but no Superman Batman. Um, the Superman title, Superman Man of Steel, is written by Nathan Banks. That is gonna be one of the launch title. Uh, Batman: The Dark Knight is the flagship DC Elite title, and that is being written by Ruth Ruth McAdams. She that was the one title she wanted. She wanted Batman. I was like, okay, uh, and that's going to be a launch title, but there's no Batman, Superman, Batman title for DC Elite. But if there was a if Batman and Superman were combined into one hero, I guess it would be. Uh, hmm. I would probably name it. Let's see. I would maybe Super Knight, or or because Super Bat's been used, uh, Bat Guardian or something like that. I don't know, just some weird. I don't know, just interesting name. Uh, I don't know what he would look like. He probably look like a combination of the two heroes. So yeah. Let me see. Jason Case asked me, "Sorry, kid, for some reason I'm mistaken and put a question mark at the end of my secret detail." Oh, okay. Okay, then I'll move on. John Kramer. Hi. Best Batman animated series episode. Oh boy. Talking about the original. There's a lot of episodes I enjoyed. Mud and Clay. The story of how the origin of Clayface in there. Uh, Two Face. I love Two Face's origin. That was great. There's an origin, of course, Heart of Ice. I love that episode of Mr. Freeze. That episode right there really makes you feel for Mr. Freeze and not just want him to get defeated by Batman. You almost are rooting for him in a sense of getting justice for what happened to him. Uh, Robin's Reckoning. Love that. That is the episode that won that series the daytime Emmy. That's it. Uh, there's a lot of episodes. Harley and Ivy was great. I love that when we get to see Harley and Ivy together for the first time. It was good stuff. That was good stuff. And one of my favorite lines in that episode of Harley and Ivy is you got Joker shooting Batman, and he's behind like a waste tank, and then he's like, "Stop shooting, you lunatic! We're sitting on a powder keg." And he's just like, "Okay," and he just keeps shooting. It was so funny. Uh, I enjoyed that. Best and worst Superman film. Uh, Personally, with me, Uh, best no one of the best Superman films, of course, is Superman 1, 2, great. Richard Donner versions, if are cut, director's cut. I'll go in order. I'm gonna go best to worst in my opinion. All right, Superman 1, 2, uh, Man of Steel. Yes, I enjoyed Man of Steel, guys. Yes, I enjoyed that. Uh, then you go Superman Returns, Superman 3, Superman 4. Those are that's how I classify the Superman films, from best to worst. Uh, how would you write Superman's first encounter with Batman in Dawn of Justice? Uh, I really wouldn't have them, fighting each other. I think, that cliche gets a little old for me personally. I don't want to see them fight. I really don't. I don't like to see that. But if anything, I would have I would have. Hold on. Sorry, guys, I'm watching wrestling. um, Personally, me, I would write Superman and Batman Dawn of Justice almost similar to how they did it in the animated series. See how they did it there, where it was more of the way they did it in the animated series where they first came together, they first met. That's how I would do it. That would work for me. Uh, where Bruce Wayne comes to Gotham, to Metropolis to make a deal with I guess something with a deal with Lex Luthor, Wayne Corp and Lex Corp, something like that. That's how I would do it. And that's where Superman and Batman would meet later on. All right. So thank you, John Kramer, for the question. Let's move on to 58 4H. Let's see. Let's see. Your first question is who in your opinion is the definite writer for Superman and Batman titles? Oh man, that's a hard one. Man, that's hard. That's really hard for me. Uh, oh man, that is very hard. Man, that is very hard right there to answer. I think, look, I think Jeff Johns writes Superman pretty well. I'm not gonna lie about that. I did not hate Grant Morrison's run of Batman. I think Dan Jurgens is a good writer for both. Uh, I I think. My God, I'm sorry. I'm not about that. I think. Mm, Man, that is a hard question to answer, and I can't really give a definitive answer because there have been some great Superman and Batman writers that have put their own niches to the characters, so I can't really give a definitive answer. What would Batman think of Ninjak? I think Bruce would look at Ninjak and like, hey, this guy's good. I think he would. Uh, Next question is, how would Superman react to Alucard from Och? Uh, be on his guard and he would look at Alucard as a threat. Like, yo, this guy is not Alucard is not no ordinary vampire. We're talking about Alucard from Hellsing. If anybody's ever watched or read the mangas of Hellsing, Alucard is no ordinary vampire. This guy is the strongest vampire in that universe, and he is no joke. When he smiles at you, be afraid. That's all I'm gonna say. Basically, he is Dracula, but he's just super Dracula. Just put it like that. Uh, let's see. Superman as a herald of Galactus, imbued with the cosmic power, would how paranoid Batman would get then? uh, seriously, if Superman became a herald of Galactus, not only does he have the powers that he's given from the radiation of the yellow sun, his Kryptonian, genetics, but now he's empowered by power cosmic. I think Batman will be so paranoid about that it would infect other members of the Justice League or other heroes of the DC universe. Be like, he's nearly a this is if he goes seriously bad, we're in trouble. So yeah. Thank you for those questions. Let's see. Next up, Fierce Lion. Yo, nice name. I like that name. First question is, do you feel Superman is too outdated? I just answered that. No, I don't. I do not feel that Superman is outdated. Uh, I don't think he's outdated. I personally think you can relate to him. You can understand where he comes from. Here is a guy who was almost looked at in some people's eyes as a god. He has all these incredible abilities. And do I feel that he's overpowered? Sometimes I do, but I still like the character. I like Superman. I respect Superman. I will always have the utmost respect for Superman for what he stands for and what he represents. Yes, he is what I like to call the godfather of all superpowered heroes. He's not the first hero. He's the first superpowered hero. And I think the world gets that confused that he's the first superhero. He's not. There have been heroes before him. There were heroes before Superman and Batman. So, but I don't think he's outdated. No, I don't. Your next question is: do you consider Batman a ripoff of the Shadow? Ooh, that is an argument that has gone on for a long time, and even the great Jim Steranko himself has even said Batman is just a knockoff of. He is literally a not a ripoff, but he is a mirror image of the Shadow. Batman is, if you get down to the nitty gritty of Batman, he is a pulp era hero. He carried guns. He did this. He did things that other pulp heroes of that time were doing. He had no powers, necessarily. Unfortunately, with the Shadow, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a ripoff. I would say that he has elements of the Shadow, and they have met before. The Shadow has met, and the Batman has gone on record to say, it is on record that Batman has said that Shadow is one of those individuals that that inspired him. So, yes, and the Shadow did know who Batman really is. The Shadow knows. Yeah, love me some Shadow. Uh, Favorite Batman villain. Favorite Batman villain. You always want me to name one. All right, name one. I'll name one. Mr. Freeze. Love Mr. Freeze. One of my top Batman villains. I love Mr. Freeze. Uh, Victor Freeze is definitely one of those villains that he is a villain, but he's like the Lizard in a sense. He's the Lizard. He is kind of like similar to the Lizard. He is a villain, but you also feel for him. You feel bad for him. You know, he didn't want to be the way he is. You know, but he is the way he is, and there are times you root for him. He's a villain that you like. I'm kind of rooting for him in a sense. But once they overhauled him in the new 52 and they just made him a stereotypical psychotic Batman villain that most of the others have, he's got problems and everything. It was just like, I can't feel for the character anymore. So when it comes to Mr. Freeze, I'm always old school Mr. Freeze. You know, does Superman need a better rogues gallery? I would say he needs a more extended rogues gallery. I think he needs a rogues gallery that is better recognized because, oh my God, he's coming out here again. Look at the stalker. And he's looking more psychotic. Sorry. Um, I do feel that Superman needs more. I mean, if you think about it, can you name at least, you probably can name at least 5 Superman villains or 6 or so, but I think he needs more. I mean, of course, there's Lex Luthor. Yes, you got to put him there. Brainiac, Parasite, Doomsday, Mr. Mixelplex, you know, uh, Metallo. But there is not a lot really, and it's hard. It's hard. That's hard to. It's hard to. It's hard. It's sad that Superman doesn't have a better rogues gallery. So I do think he needs more of a rogues gallery. I do. And we're getting questions. I'm gonna get to you guys. Hold on. At least it's only 3. So, uh, next question is from Zach the Thunder King. Oh, I forgot. Thanks, Fierce Lion. I appreciate that. And dig the name. I like that name. Uh, Zach the Thunder King. I have have you read the World's Finest series? What is the funniest moment in the series? Depends on which series we're talking about. The Superman Batman series of old or so. I can't recollect funniest moments in that. So I can't really give you a definitive answer on that, Zach. Do you think Batman will ever let Superman drive the Batmobile? No. Does he ever let anybody drive the Batmobile? What do you not want in the Dawn of Justice movie? Uh, just constant fighting between the two heroes. I don't want that. Thanks, Zach, for the questions. Omnitron12345. You asked me, what is your opinion on the old school Earth 2 Kryptonians, namely that they had superpowers naturally without the need of the yellow sunlight? Um, I liked them. I thought they were cool. Very interesting indeed. Uh, you're basically talking like old school Power Girl, you know, Karen Starr. She doesn't need the yellow sunlight. That's not what gives her power. So yeah, I would. I think. Oh God, that commercial's on. Yeah, there's a commercial, guys, now deals with smoking, and in there's a commercial. The the creature looks like a damn face hugger, and you guys know I am with face huggers. I'm that's one thing of the Alien franchise that still freaks me out, scares me to this day. I cannot stand the face huggers. That's a fear I still have not overcome. So yeah. For argument's sake, do you think Power Girl should just be made Superman's actual cousin from the same universe, like from a slight more distant line of the House of L, making both her and Supergirl cousins? Uh, you're basically saying why not she just be a cousin, and instead of being a cousin from, she's kind of still his cousin, but from another dimension. Uh, I wouldn't mind that. That would be cool. Uh, I feel that, it'd be cool to see Supergirl and Power Girl actually cousins, or they act more like sisters anyway, so it's kind of cool. The next one: if Batman were to be given actual powers, or at least and be enhanced to a degree, do you think it would be he would be Captain America, Deathstroke, uh, or to Midnighter's level? If if I was to give if if Batman were to give powers, I would definitely want him to be something like darkness powers, in a sense, like similar to he can meld into the shadows, literally, like like similar to kind of like uh cloak, no, yeah, cloak or something like that. But if he was just given like enhancements, yeah, he would probably be similar to like Captain America or Deathstroke. Midnighter, not so much, because Midnighter's powers, he can predict, his pain receptors. He can shut his pain receptors off. That's sick. I don't think Batman could be doing that. Uh, what's your opinion on Van Zod? Do you think he could have worked better anywhere else other than Earth 2? And if so, where would you like to see him? I like Van Zod. I think it's cool. He's actually not new. Uh, there in many multiverses, there was a DC multiverse where most of the Caucasian or white heroes were actually black. That's pretty much where he comes. He's a amalgam of that. So Wonder Woman was actually black. Superman was black. Batman was black. You know, the characters that were black, they were different colors. So I wouldn't mind seeing. Could he work somewhere else? I think he could. Um, in some ways, it would be interesting if they had made him the New 52 version of Icon or something like that. But then I think, but personally, I think that would be a slap in the face to Dwayne McDuffie and all those who created him. Like, no, don't do that. John Case. Okay, here's the questions. But thank you for the questions, Amitron. Jason Case, you say, was kidnapping in the Dark Knight movie? Was kidnapping in the Dark Knight movie with how Batman got Law back in Gotham City? Was it kidnapped? Which Dark Knight movie are we talking about? We're talking about um the animated movie, because that's one Batman movie I have not seen. I believe that's the one. What unused major enemy of that of Superman's role would you want to see in a future live action? Parasite. 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 Who else? Metallo. Brainiac. Uh, okay. Uh, yeah, I know what you meant. That's why I said it. Uh, Watch Mojo listed Tony Stark multiple similarities to Batman, including being rich, which to them makes Iron Man a copycat of Batman. Do you believe them to be wrong, and why? Uh, no, I don't. I don't believe them. I don't agree with that. Just because you're rich, if that's the case, then that that should go for Green Hornet. That should go for the Shadow. That should go for the Phantom. That should go for Mr. Terrific. That should go for Black Panther. And but it's not. So no, I don't. I don't agree with that. I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. Um, I would do believe them wrong. And I just said why. Because just because you can make a hero. What makes Iron Man and Batman so relatable? By just because they're rich. Like I said before, Tony didn't lose his family in front of his eyes. And I'm going with the origin. Batman didn't get shrapnel embedded in his heart. He didn't have to wear a suit of armor. No. So no, there's no similarities. You can't. Morlun, a powerhouse or a street level villain fights Batman. Of street level supervillains, uh, fights Batman. Who wins the fight? You're a Spider-Man. Of course, I know who Morlun is. Yeah. Uh, Morlun. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Green Arrow Hunter. Superman and Batman versus Doctor Manhattan and Rorschach. Who wins? Uh, Man, I'm not the biggest Watchmen fan. I never have been. Been very vocal about that. I've never been a big Watchmen fan. Never saw any interest in it. No disrespect. It wasn't something that I saw. I was like, wow, okay, I got to read. It was Okay, okay. But I would probably have to go with Doctor Manhattan. I mean, just on that power level. I mean, it's a that's some power that I don't even think Superman could deal with. Next question is why do you think that no one has tried to take Superman's fingerprints for something that he has touched, figured out his secret identity since he doesn't wear gloves? That's a good question. I don't know why. Superman is like respect. You know, it's like he touched it. All right, let me get his fingerprints. Let's see who it is. I mean, if you look at it, the Superman Clark Kent dynamic of the identity is just so funny. It's still one of those Superman things that just makes me laugh because it's just like, how can nobody tell Clark Kent, Superman are the same person? You know, as Bill from Kill Bill, remember what he said? His identity, Superman's identity, is Clark Kent. You know, that's his identity. He's always Superman. You know, it's pretty funny, but true. I love that quote too. But yeah, you know, it's funny. I think it's pretty funny. Next question is, if Batman would take the take the 24-hour power serum from the All Star story to fight Superman, would he beat him? Uh, let's face it, that would be awesome. Hmm, probably. I'd probably give him. Me, I'd probably give him some. Probably could. Uh, but I'm just saying. That's just me. Be a hell of a fight. How come Superman has never been a Blue Lantern? I have no idea. Um, it would be cool. I think he would suit the Blue Lanterns very well. It's hope. It's about hope. I've always said if I was to be recruited as a Lantern, there'd be two Lanterns. Well, actually three, but two would be the majority. I think the rings would come to me. Rain, of course, Will, Blue, Hope. And I said red because I do have a dark side that, you know, a very aggressive side when he wants to come out. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. So, but no, Clanders 988. How you doing? Would you want a world's finest open world co-op game to be? What? How would you do a world's finest co-op game and to be specific? I don't know. Similar to Arkham Knight, the Arkham series for Batman, and the open world would be a little bit more of a for Superman. Would the skies would be his in a sense, and you know you could do it similar to the there's a couple. I'm just saying there's a couple. I'm just do you think they will fight throughout the entire movie? I hope no, I don't think they're gonna fight. That's if they fight through the whole movie, that's a waste of the movie, in my opinion. Like no. There's got to be a reason this is going to be like the ground zero for the Justice League movie to come. So no. So no, I don't think so. How do you think it will go in the movie? Fight for a while, they come together for a common foe. Bam, there you go. Burnout or Seven? You ask. Whose animated series do you watch the most? Superman or Batman's? It's kind of equal. I watch both of them equally, so it's not really which one I don't watch. Well, more. I watch them equally. I love them both. Why does Miller think Superman and Batman can't be friends? I don't know. He feels that maybe, I don't know. It's just I just don't understand it. I don't get why he feels that way. That Superman and Batman can't be friends. Because one is more into the darkness and more aggressive and more of that. You know, can't let too many people get too close to him because he feels that people will get hurt. Superman's very vocal and open. He cares and things like that. That's so stupid. I don't agree with it. I really don't. Your next question is, what would Superman and Batman think of how mutants are treated in the Marvel universe? Wouldn't like it. Not at all. What would you think of a Batman Superman crossover with Science Ninja Team Gatchaman? Look at my face. Look at my face. Look at my face. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not even gonna say anything. Uh, so yeah. Okay. Next up comes from, let's see, we got almost done. Yeah, almost done with the Princess of Geeks, Serena. Hey, Serena. Best voice actor of Superman. There have been several actors who voiced Superman animated wise, but Tim Daly by far is the best Superman voice actor, period. Anytime I read Superman or classic Superman, I hear Tim Daly's voice coming out of it, bar none. Nobody does it better. Second best Batman voice. Okay, good. See, you did smart. Second best Batman voice. Second best Batman voice would probably be Bruce Greenwood. I think he is a good Batman. I thought he did a good job at portraying Batman's voice. Pretty good. You don't know who Bruce Greenwood is. He was the voice of Batman in several of the Batman. He did Under the Red Hood. He was Batman on Young Justice. He's a good voice. Did you like Superman's portrayal in Justice League War? No, I didn't. Mm, I hated Superman. I hated Superman in Justice League War. He acted more like a jock, a bully jock, one of those bully, roided up, meathead bullies, those bullies that are part of this football team. I hated it. I hated it. It was just like I can't take this. No. Has Batman ever met the Shadow? Yes, indeed. He has met the Shadow. Glad a lot of people are mentioning the Shadow. Much much respect because I love the Shadow. Perry King, what would Christopher Reeve Superman think of Henry Cavill's Superman? I try not to think like that. Um, Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman was old school Superman, Superman of old. Henry Cavill's was similar to that as well. I mean, people get so much because he broke a neck. It was just like, okay, it happened. He killed somebody, but he felt remorse for it. He didn't want to do it, So I think Chris Reeve's Superman would cut Henry Cavill's Superman a break, like, no, not like I disgrace you. You're not a Superman, no. Would you like to see the same people that did the Arkham series do a World's Finest video game? Would you feel? Have you read Batman and the Spear crossover by Jeff Loeb and Dane Cook? I have. Good stuff. I have indeed. I've always said this. Jeff Loeb's DC work I like. His Marvel work I do not like. I do not like it at all. Hail, High Lord, Norin J. Powell. Hey, dude. Man, oh God, damn. Here are my questions. How do you feel about the rendition of the incarnation of Superman over the past few years in both comics, New 52 and Superman Man of Steel? In honesty, I haven't been a huge fan of either because being a 41-year-old guy, my rendition of Superman that I love has always been portrayed Superman as being as was best in humanity. Never thought of he's not a human. In the original Superman series, George Reeves and the Chris Reeves in the animated series and cartoons in the 90s, or even Brendan Roth, Henry Cavill and Superman have really departed from the noble, selfless nobility of really Superman. What do you think? Look, once again, like I said, New 52 Superman, I'm not that big on. Henry Cavill's Superman was not that bad. It felt it was more of feeling him trying to find his place in. You can Henry Cavill, Man of Steel. Say what you want about Man of Steel, but Man of Steel made you really understand Superman in his point of view of trying to find his place in a world where he feels that he needs to hide himself from, in a sense. He that is a sense that I can understand. Now, here's a guy who can probably crush your bones with just his pinky. He's still trying to find his place. Like I said, it's more people looking at it because of the breaking of the neck. Like I said before, he felt remorse about doing that. He didn't want to do it. He saw him flip out. He had a sense of old school Superman. I cannot agree with some people saying he had no sense of old school Superman. I love the line, the interrogation scene is by far probably one of my favorite scenes in that movie, is where, he is looking at it as, look, he let them handcuff him, for God's sakes. He's like, wait a minute, like, and then literally what he does after that, he's like, all right, all right, enough of the games. Let's put our cards on the table, General. You're afraid of me because you can't control me, and you never will. And that makes perfect sense. But that doesn't mean we need to be enemies. He is worried about what Zod is. So the essence of Superman, of old school Superman, is there. Snyder just went a different means of going about doing it. And I don't neglect that. But I do have a sense that it is, I do sense that there's not enough of the old school essence of Superman in the Superman's portrayed now. But Snyder has said that you're going to start seeing Cavill's Superman really start being more of that Superman that we know of old. Okay, so yeah, it is what it is. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's your opinion. I respect it. Okay. Uh, and now you're talking about uh, Batman. Now, I don't see really no difference in terms of Batman, the Batman New 52 and pre 52 Batman. There's no difference. There really isn't. He's pretty much the same. There really is no different. The only difference is, yeah, that he's gone and now Jim Gordon is now the in a bat suit. It's all right. You know, I got no problem with that. You know. Next up, do you think Batman or Superman should be married? I must admit, if there is anything about Superman that I like from usually, aside from I like that Superman and Wonder Woman together. I also wouldn't mind actually. Um, Personally, I don't like the logical. I don't like Superman with Wonder Woman. I don't. That's just me personally. I think they were just put together because, like, oh, everybody talks about it. Like, they make the perfect couple. I liked Lois and Clark together. I like that. I like that. So I would really want Superman to go back to being with Lois, but now DC hasn't even made it further yet. That ain't gonna happen. Uh, as for Batman being married, I wouldn't mind. I just think the everybody just honestly puts him and Selena Kyle together, but it's just like I have a few choices of. I mean, if it was me in another world, I would actually put Batman and Black Canary together, Batman and Shiva together at one point. Jesus, man. There's a couple I could see Batman with besides just the this the cliche. In all the renditions of Superman and Batman in comics TV series, which rendition of each character is your very favorite? Favorite cartoon? Okay, man, that's hard because the animated versions of Batman and Superman have been good. The animated version, the comics, I would say pre 52. TV series wise, um, that's a little harder because I like the the Adam West, but that's not my rating of Batman. Movie wise, Christopher Reeves is up there definitely for Superman. As for Batman, I enjoyed Christian Bale Batman, but I also enjoy Michael Keaton's Batman as well, especially his Batman. You know, I thought Mr. Keaton was kind of a bad Bruce Wayne, though. Uh, Darth Venom. You ask, should Batman, could Superman pick up Thor's hammer in Justice League JLA Avengers? Uh, Superman did pick up the hammer. Do you think Dawn of Justice is a good title? If not, what would you rather have? World's Finest. If Superman grew up in Gotham City instead of Smallville, and was adopted by the Wayne family. Imagine if Clark Wayne, not Clark Kent, was Batman's adopted brother. That'd be great. I wouldn't mind that. If I think the Waynes would, I think the Waynes personally. Here's even more. I would think the Waynes wouldn't even died because Clark Wayne would have prevented that. I think there would be a little bit of a jealousy between Bruce and Clark, definitely. Uh, would what would happen if Superman and Batman met Frank Miller? I think Superman would say, "Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me so much? And what did I ever do to you? Like what? I'm just being portrayed of what my character is. You know, you don't like that." Batman, on the other hand, would probably be like, "Okay, you're way too obsessed with me, of me being so dark and gloomy. I'm not that. I'm not entirely that all day." So yeah. Uh, let's see what the next question is. So that's it. Thank you for the questions. Jackie Lee asked me, how would you do the Man of Steel before this Batman versus? Personally, with me, like I said, personally with me, like I said, I'm. It's funny that Batman is this Superman is. I would basically have done the next Man of Steel is where the series, the next movie will really focus on Superman really coming to terms. I would take a little bit of elements of what's going on in Batman V, of him being, people looking at him as a god and things like that, and he really coming to terms and telling people, no, I'm not that. But really, people showcasing that he still can be vulnerable, but he is a guardian. He does fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Things like that. Uh, so yeah, I would pretty much do it like that. The villain would probably be Brainiac. Uh, uh, Next up, how would you do Superman and Godzilla crossover, either a movie or a comic or a mini? I would do like a crossover comic, a DC IDW crossover, because that's who has the Godzilla license, the IDW. So I would do it like that. What would bring these two factions together? Have you watched a video called Man of Steel in Color? No, I haven't. What is that? I'll have to check it out. How do you think the movie? How do you think this movie would go? I'm hoping it does good. Like I said, I want equal amount of success for both, and I'm hoping this does well. But I don't want it to focus so much on the dynamics of Batman and Superman fighting. So yeah, okay. So that is all the questions from. That's all the questions that were given to me on the announcement. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay, let me get to them Twitter questions. 3 Twitter questions I saw. Twitter. Okay. All right, here we go. Twitter questions 1 from superpowered friend at superpowered friend 0134. What is your favorite Batman, Superman, uh, Superman, Batman story arc? Favorite Superman, Batman story arc would probably be, well, the Superman, Batman apocalypse story movie. That's a good story arc. That's based off the Superman, Batman comic. Then there was another one where Batman gained Superman's powers, and Superman was losing his powers, and Batman actually flew down to where Bane was, his country, and killed Bane. It was just like, oh man. Your next question, next comes from the Superman fan at the Superman fan. Okay. The question is, as a fellow Superman fan, do you feel Superman can beat anybody? No, I don't. Superman is great, but I don't think he can beat everybody. I don't. I really don't. Um, I don't. I can't look at him like that. That's just me. Next up, last Twitter question I got is from Gary Jenkins at Gary Jenkins. How many how many forms of kryptonite are there now? I'm not sure. From now, I think there's just one. I think they've only done green. They haven't done red or blue or silver. They've had so many different kryptonite. I know there was a pink kryptonite. I think the pink one made him act like a girl or something like that. There were some weird ones in there. Black did something weird to him. Blue did this. Red, of course, does you know what? Silver does this. I'm not sure how many. Okay. So let's go to these questions now. What other questions we have here? Before I wrap this up. All right, let's see what we have here. What do we have here? All right. Oh crap. Okay. Come on, right back. This DQ, disqualification, you fat big show. Tire. Look at him. What a punk. Uh, anyway, let's see. All right, now we move on to these questions here that are for the people viewing. Okay, I'm gonna go from bottom to top, or I should say, or whoever. I'll just pick whoever I want. Okay, Nathan Banks. You say, hey Chris. What do you think about the direction of both Superman and Batman in the comics as of right now. I'm Superman. I'm not feeling this. This has been done before. He was back now. First we started out. Now he's back in just a t-shirt. He just looks like Superboy. It's like whatever. As for the Batman, it's like Jim Gordon as Batman for now. Bat Chappie as I like to call him. That's okay. So yeah, it is what it is. Uh, let's see. Omnitron, you say, would you be interested in a live-action series more in line with the Silver Age Superman set back in the 60s or 70s, almost like an ongoing series based somewhat in the Richard Donner Superman universe? Maybe. Then you go on to say, as a follow-up question to my last one, if Batman was in a Mass Effect, do you think he'd clean up Omega better than Garrus did? Oh, come on. Look, Garrus Garrus did what he thought was right. And first of all, you can't blame Garrus for it because what happened? When Sedonis, his boy, one of his own men, betrayed him. So you can't really. But I think he would make the same kind of progress he would make with Gotham. Because Omega is totally different. Everybody makes their own rules. You know, it's just like, and face it, if he tried to take out Arya, yeah, he's dead. Bruce is dead. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Bruce, I don't think Bruce could take out no Asari. I don't. Let alone Asari's like Arya, Liara, and Samara, or even Marn. Yeah. Uh, but I think he make the same kind of progress. Since Rocksteady is done with the Batman side of DC and they are partnering with Warner Brothers, do you think Superman will be next project? I hope. I guess. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to see that. I think it'd be great to see a Superman based game. I mean, what was the last Superman game that we got? The Superman Returns. I'm talking, and see, I like games that are not based off of movies. Like it has an original story to it, and that's something I wish that Marvel would do with their games is stop basing them off the movies and just have an original story. You know what I'm saying? All right. Next up, as for the plot, I don't know what the plot would be. No, I can't go into that one. What would happen if Superman existed in the Mass Effect world, and how would you think things would change? As a side question, do you think Brainiac would be a Reaper? Yep, he'd probably take over and control them. Uh, Superman, it probably give the Alliance a better edge with Superman on their side, dealing with the Reapers, especially in that part of the Mass Effect world. Uh, Sinquan, you ask, is my question is for you is whom amongst the Rogue Gallery have never done on it would you like to see Batman fight in a solo movie? Like I said, Clayface, a better Mr. Freeze, Man Bat, Scarecrow. Let's see. Uh, Hush, not so much. Uh, Court of Owls, no. Court of Owls kind of bored me. They bore me to death. Deadshot, well, Deadshot's not more of a Batman villain. He just hey Chris, how are things? Have you gotten Arkham Knight, and do you have any theories on how it will play out? No, I have not picked up Arkham Knight because I don't have a PS4 or Xbox One, but I do plan on getting it for the PS4. So, and I don't want to ruin, look at like the story of it. All right. The prequel comic is good though. Do you think Superman will throw the fight against Batman as a way of showing people he can be beaten? I wouldn't put it past him. Let's see. Black Doggy Claw. If Superman and Batman were in high school, do you think Bruce would be the cold emo kid and Clark be the country boy kid? I wouldn't say emo for Batman. I think he'd just be the loner, the guy, just you don't really talk to too much. Keeps to himself, but he's that the quiet one that you need to watch out for. Clark, on the other hand, would be open to anybody, like he has been in high school. Are you watching the Gotham TV show? I'm starting to get more intrigued. My favorite character as Penguin and Bullet. Um, I'm not a hardcore. This is Big Rick. I watch Gotham, but I'm not. I don't watch it like I must watch it. They just change way too much stuff that just there have been some episodes on that just made me just like this was so stupid. Like for example, the Red Hood episode that was just god awful. I was like I couldn't believe they did that. Um, I know there's a second season. I did like some, but it is what it is. It's not like a must to watch for me. Yeah, that's been asked already. Sync on. All right. Let's see. It's what time is it? 9. Almost 9:30. Wrap this up at 9:30. Have you? What happened if Goku and Superman swap places in the universes for about 10 years? That'd be kind of interesting. See Goku in the DC universe and Superman in the Dragon Ball universe. All right, let me try and what happened if swap play? Oh yeah, I'll answer that one. I'm trying to. How do you think things would have played out if Superman was on the Avengers instead of Hyperion during Hickman's run? That'd be interesting. It'd probably be similar, but you damn sure, you bet your ass, the relationship that Hyperion had with Thor would be nearly the same thing Thor and Superman would have with each other. Yep. Uh, hey, Hunter Banks. You could just call me Chris. You don't have to say my name, my running kid. I'm Chris. Just call me that. I have some questions for you. What are your thoughts on Goku versus Superman debate? I'm tired of it. It's so played out and it's so annoying to me. Anytime somebody asks me it, I get mad. Like, I get frustrated. I'm like, next, because I don't want to talk about it. It's a debate that is so tiring. It's as tiring as the stupid DC versus Marvel debate, which I get so sick of. I'm tired of both. It's like you can't like both. You gotta like this. Who says that? Where's that? Is there some kind of book that says who've been reading comics for nearly 20 plus years, can't like both DC and Marvel equally? I can't like their heroes equally. Yes, I do have my number one favorite hero of all time, which is Spider-Man. Yes, he comes before all other heroes, but I have favorite DC heroes. I like DC. I like Marvel. I like Goku. I like Superman. I hate it. It just really irritates me. It's like, yes, Goku is similar to Superman. He is the Japanese Superman in a sense. Yes, but it is a debate that gets so old and it gets frustrating for me personally. And that, once again, I'm ending it right there because I'm tired of who would win in a fight as well. I'm tired of it. Did you see the video Batman eats a hot dog? No. Have you ever seen Coffee with Batman? That was funny. What do you think of Azrael's Batman costume? It was okay. Have you? What would you think of a Batman noir comic? Just read old school Batman. That's noirish. There you go. That's it. Uh, when you saw the Thrasher suit that Batman made when he had a fight a bunch of Talons, what did you think to yourself? Hulkbuster Batman? Uh, no, not really. It's all right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see any more questions. All right. What is your opinion on Alan Moore Supreme, as he is essentially one giant Superman tribute? I thought it was pretty good. I have not read all of it, but and I'm not that big of an Alan Moore fan either. Well, no, is he? Am I? No, it's not that I'm not a big. It's just like guy kind of creeps me out sometimes. But yeah, but it's okay. And Andre Patrick. Hey, Chris, what do you think of the Justice League Gods Among version? I answered that already. Uh, sorry. Different. Nothing really too new. I've seen stuff like that. It was fine. So yeah, like I said. Your next was, hey, do you think that Supergirl and Batgirl anime series would work out just like the Batman's? Yep, I wouldn't mind a Supergirl Batgirl animated series. What type of music do you think Clark and Bruce would listen to? Uh, Superman, I think a lot of laid back music. I think Clark would love Stevie Wonder. Um, yeah, I think he would. Bruce, I'm thinking a lot of maybe some classic, but a little bit of rock in there as well. If you were okay, if you were to introduce Superman into the Arrow Flash universe, how would you play him? More similar to Clark, Man of Steel, or more comic based, um, with a little bit of a essence of um, Lois and Clark Superman. There you go. Clark. Uh, that's how I would do it. If I were to adapt Superman and Batman concept into the Avatar universe and Naruto universe, who would Superman and Batman be in each? I have no idea. No idea. Not at all. How would a Batman and Turtles crossover go? Hmm. It would have to be something that maybe the Foot, I would say the Foot and the League of Assassins teaming up, you know, to deal with, you know, that's how I would simplify it. That is it. Okay, a few more. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh man, nice shot. Sorry. Simplify it. Let's see. Do you think Dick Grayson could show up on Arrow as a secret agent, as he's currently? Are you talking about? You're talking about how he is in the Grayson comic now. Uh, I would really more want to see him as Nightwing instead of Agent Grayson. Nah, or maybe even portraying like he's an agent, but he's Nightwing. And so yeah, I could take that. Hey Chris, which Superman family do you like to read or follow the most in comic? The Batman family or the Superman family? Uh, as of right now, I'm not reading Superman. I'm not reading Supergirl. Reading Batman. I don't read Batgirl. So, but it used to be equal. I used to read both. I used to be like for Batman, for the Bat Family. I was reading back in the late earlier. Like I was reading Batman, Robin, Nightwing, uh, Batgirl, Batwoman, uh, Red Robin. You know, and when New 52, Red Hood and all that, I wasn't reading that. Superman with the Superman family, I was reading Superman. I was reading Supergirl. I was reading Supergirl. I was reading, wherever Power Girl was, I was reading. Superboy, I was reading. But after, once New 52 came out, I didn't read. I started reading Superman for a while. I started reading Supergirl for a while. I wasn't reading Superboy, and I stopped. So, but now I don't read. I read Batman, Detective, Grayson. That is it. I don't read anything else. So no, I don't read any. So I don't. Oh shoot! Another Twitter question. Same. Uh, Favorite animated Batman movie? Oh, good question. Favorite animated Batman movie would probably be Under the Red Hood. By far, great. Uh, and you asked another question. I'm sorry, I'm forgot to even tell you your hashtag at at Ian Prime Ian Prime 47 Ian Prime 47. Your next question is favorite out of the Batman Superman movies. Oh, the two Superman Batman movies that they have had animated movies. I would probably say my favorite is probably uh, Superman Batman uh, Most Wanted, the one that was based off of the design looking more like uh, Ed McGuinness's artwork. I love that one. And in that movie, we get to see the chemistry between Superman and Batman so well, so much that it puts anything that Frank Miller says to rest. They they were fighting supervillains together, and it just showcased them utilizing each other's abilities. The scene that I love in that movie is where they're flying out of Star Labs because they're running their own autopsy on Metallo. He was killed in nearby Major Force in that. Spoiler alert. And when they're leaving, since there's a bounty on Superman's head, Silver Banshee shoots them out of the sky. And Batman is falling. Superman is got pushed, and then he's getting punched by Silver Banshee. Batman's falling. He lands, and bam, enter four ice-based villains: Mr. Freeze, Killer Frost, Icicle, and Captain Cold. And pretty much Batman is battling all these ice villains. And he calls Superman because they got like earplug. He's like, Superman's got Silver Banshee. He's like, I'm a little busy right now. And He's like, when you can, bring the heat. And Superman's just taking Silver Banshee up through the sky. The atmosphere gets less the higher you go, but this is nothing for Superman. He can take that. And he actually knocks Silver Banshee out because the air gets so thin. And all he does, he's high up above Earth, and he just heat beam, and you see his eyes getting ready to blast his heat vision, and Batman gets caught in ice, and then he's just like, now, and he just starts choom, 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 just shooting, bam, 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 and he hits every one of them. And it was so badass. It was just like, look at that. See that dynamic? I love that. And Batman's able to put like a ultrasonic device on Banshee's neck. So if she uses her Banshee cry, it'll hit her back at her. And then they start fighting Nightshade, and then they were fighting Mongo and Grodd, and that scene right there was pretty good because we were all, if you've seen that movie, it was all like, wait, why is Grodd talking like that? And what does Mongo want with money? And I love that. And, and we find out it's Grodd actually controlling Solomon Grundy. It was cool. And, he's like, on top of that ridge. And then he's like, I had to be in a telepath. I heard a gorilla's heartbeat. And I was just like, I love that. That was so fun. I enjoyed the Superman, Batman Apocalypse story too, especially that last fight scene between Supergirl and Superman versus Darkseid. It was great. But yeah, both of those movies are great. But if I was to pick out of those two, it would be Superman, Batman, Most Wanted. And then after that, you even see Superman and Batman fighting Captain Atom, Major Force, Katana, Starfire, Black Lightning, and they were handling themselves pretty damn well. So yeah, that was good. So let me check one more time before. Let's see. Okay, no more Twitter questions. That's good. All right, and let's see. Oh God, it's that commercial again. Damn, they gotta start showing that. Ugh. All right, let me see. Any more questions before I wrap this up? Didn't want to make this one too long. Okay. Which Superman solo movie does I like the most? I say it's close between All-Star Superman and Superman Doomsday. There you go. All right, is that it? Because if that is it, oh, okay. I meant showing up as an Argus agent, then making the transition to Nightwing with a little hint as he's actually an origin adopted by Bruce, like reversing his entire idea of him stop being. Be interesting, but I still would make him. I still think it would be undercover. Let's see. I think that's it. Well, I think that's all the questions, guys. And I want to thank everybody who came out and hung out. Of course, I will be doing another one of these next time. My theme Q&A is always for the month. The question a lot of people are asking: will there be another Thursday night live Q&A? Again, like I did. I mean, that was a really successful. I might do it again, but as of right now, I want to thank everybody for thank you for everybody coming out, and I will see you guys next time. As always, you know where you can follow me. You know where I be. Uh, take care. Much love and respect to everybody as always, and I will see you guys next time.